All right, Precal, let's talk about how to find all of these components. So let's work through this. So the first thing that we are being asked is to find the horizontal asymptote. 1 second. There we go. All right, so how do we go about doing this? Well, what we do is we look at the highest exponents, and we see they're both 2. So when they're the same, we just divide the leading coefficients, which is 1/2. Right? And so the idea again here is that we're left with a big number squared over 2 times a big number squared. And so the big number squareds are going to cancel out, and you're just going to be left with 1/2. The back numbers are irrelevant here because if you have a very large number, when you square it, it's going to be way bigger than 4 times a big number. So that's the idea behind that. In any case, we get 1/2. Next up, that's to find the vertical asymptote. So to find that, the goal should be to factor first. You always want to factor. And we get x times x plus 4 over x times 2x minus 7. Now, for here, what's important to realize is that the x's cancel out, which tells me that I'm going to have a hole, and I know we're looking for vertical asymptote, but we already have the hole, is going to be at 0. Take that value and substitute it back into the remaining equation. We get 0 plus 4 over 2 times 0 minus 7. And so I'm plugging that x value back in, and I'm going to get 4 over -7, and that's this value right here. If nothing cancels out, you don't have a hole. Okay. With what I'm left with, the denominator is going to be set equal to 0. So 2x minus 7 is going to be set equal to 0. We're going to solve, and x is going to be 7/2. And so x is 7/2. All right. Now the x and y intercepts can be found. They're kind enough to tell you that the x-intercept is when y is 0. So when y is 0, I'm simply solving for the numerator, which is x plus 4. And so that equals 0, and x is equal to -4. Notice that I also want to point out that if you had taken the original equation and you had worked it out, the problem that you would have is that if you said, oh, it's 0, but 0, 0 doesn't, or 0 wouldn't be 0, 0. It would be 0, -4's, -4/7. That wouldn't exist, so that wouldn't work. I guess that would be for the y-intercept. The x-intercept, yeah, I don't think that would work. Yeah. Anyways, okay. Y-intercept. Well, let me stress this. Let me put some. You got me. Y'all getting me to rethink in real time here. Look, if you have any doubts about anything, right, just Desmos it, right? So let's Desmos it. Let's just see what happens when I Desmos. So let's type it in. Y equals x squared plus 4x 2x squared minus 7x. Okay. And so if we said the y-intercept is when, I'm sorry, the x-intercept is when y is 0, we see, right, if we look closely, let me double check here, the x-intercept is when y is 0. So if you use the original equation, right, you make the original equation equal to 0. You notice here it's not going to end up crossing. Now it doesn't cross at 0. So the x-intercept is not going to be at 0. Okay, it's only at -4, 0. So that has to do with the fact that hole. All right, let's go back to it. don't know why I'm having so many mouse issues right now. Okay. All right. So the last bit is the Y-intercept. The Y-intercept is, let's do, I like light blue, is when x is 0. So if x is 0, right, we're going to plug into the simplified version. So if x is 0, you have 0 plus 4 over 2 times 0 minus 7. So if x is 0, we're getting negative 4 over 7, which we're saying is a whole, right? So it seems to me that because the y-intercept is crossing at 0, there is none. All right. Okay, here. Let's look at the visual representation of this. If it'll let me. There we go. And so if I drag the mouse here, let's see what happens. I get really close to 0. It's undefined. So that confirms it, right? So this one doesn't have a y-intercept. Okay, they're not all going to be like that, right? Things can change. It's just the positioning. But there you have it, and there's your answer. So, apologize. I think there was a little bit of, I guess, tech issues, but that's all there really is to that question. Hopefully that makes sense. Y'all let me know in the comments, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye bye.